Good morning.
Good morning.
I can hear, I see your lips moving, but I don't hear you. Oh, I have my computer on mute. Maybe I didn't want to. I gotta change my name.
That's what I was doing. And I'm going to mute myself because I'm getting a new roof on my house today and it's very noisy.
Okay, no worry. Let's see, rename.
I almost called you yesterday because I got a notice from Zoom that the scheduled meeting had been deleted.
Really?
Uh-huh. I just went in and undeleted it, so the link was good.
Well, thank you. I don't know.
Anybody that gets into it with that, the password and access that I put out, it gets some admin control. And if they arbitrarily just choose to delete something, it'll go away.
Now, do I sign in with District 5110 password, or do I sign in with my own?
You should sign in with your own.
Okay, I didn't this morning. I signed in with the district one, but that I was just, I signed in with the district and then I checked and it was the right meeting, because I still have, you know, I'm still afraid that I'm gonna go back to my old one and nobody will be there.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm in early, was just to
Me
see if
too.
anybody else showed up and you didn't because you were at a different meeting, and looking at the Zoom links of, okay, which numbers match.
Yeah, I know it. Me too. That's why I wanted to verify with you a couple weeks ago that, okay, now I'm telling people the right one. Jeez, I better go back into my calendar and say, sign in with my password. Okay.
If you want, go ahead and set up a test meeting and you know, with the district login, and see if you can access it with yours. It may not give you the host if you set it up with the district. Then when you log in yourself.
Let's see, am I the host now? That's a good question.
I don't know, I just got to let Harry in.
Oh, did you just let him in? Yeah, I'm a co-host, so that's something pretty good.
That sounds good.
And I got the little sunshine logo thing up there, but whatever.
You like that?
Oh, I guess that's my profile.
For the district profile?
Yeah. I guess if I go in with my own sign in, then I'll have my own profile. That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
So I'll learn by next time. Maybe I'll know what I'm doing.
I've got 4 different logins for Zoom, and I've got a different profile picture on each one.
That way you know who you are. Okay, I'm changing it for the future.
I mean, this works as far as.
Good morning, Harry.
Good
Sorry,
morning,
Jim.
Christine. Look at here. I'm on time, and I'm bushy-eyed and bushy-tailed
And bright-tailed.
and bright-tailed. Oh my gosh.
Hey, well, you can't have everything, right?
But the way this is set up, it allows, you know, with the host and co-host set up, I can see that Marv Kaplan wants in. I just admitted him. So you don't have to keep looking at that.
You're getting ahead of me. You're singing backup. I like that. Good morning, Marv.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Just great. Thank you.
You're hanging out at the bar, aren't you?
Well, that's our wine room at the house.
We're gonna have to come and visit you.
There's some good looking liquor there that's not wine.
Well, you know, we just came back from California. The Veterans Ranch had a red carpet presentation for our new documentary. And in one of the restaurants that we went to, I tasted a Japanese whiskey that was like a Scotch. I think it was called Hibiki. And it was the best blended Scotch I have ever tasted.
Wow.
So I went on COCC to see if they had it in Oregon, and they do have it in Bend, but I bought it at another store in LA for $20 a bottle less. So
Wow.
just
Good morning, Patty.
Just so you know, I go to Smith River or Hilt, California for the liquor store and can beat about state liquor store prices by 20 to 30% on an average.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife
We
loves
have-
to go to the coast, so it's an hour drive.
well, that's actually good for you. For us, it's you know, it's a 2-day trip if we go to Sacramento, because Total Wine and More has the best prices in California because they compete with Costco, who's 2 blocks away. So
Marv's got this all figured out. He's an analyst, so he does his homework. Ray LaMarche, and let's see, Jerry's coming in.
no, Christine, thank you for doing this for the last, 18, 20 years. We appreciate it.
You're making me older than I am, Marv.
Oh, no, you're younger than I am, so that's good.
Oh, well, we'll see about that.
Well, my next birthday is 80.
Oh, my goodness. Well, maybe you've got a couple years on me.
I just did the 7-0.
Ah,
Oh, I'm older than Jim, younger than Marvin. We can all have true confessions. Oh, Jerry, you look good already. You don't have to comb your hair.
Oh, good point. Good point.
We can all see you primping. Oh, dear. Now we got to get Steve Mathis here, seeing as how he's the star of the show. I better grab my phone and make sure nobody's texting me and saying, I can't get in. Usually there's one. Okay, let's see. Nope. Okay. Oh, Jim, where are you? I'm gonna email him real quick. You guys can chat, Anybody got a new club they're trying to start?
What?
Like a satellite or anything?
no, just trying to keep our membership up. And
How's yours doing?
we've lost 3 people, one due to financial reasons, yet the club paid for her for 6 months. But
Oh,
she's
don't you hate that?
we have a special fund that we will pay for membership for up to 2 quarters. But then after that, the person just has to either commit or not. And then actually, this would be a good topic for membership. Not to
Oh,
mention
there you are.
agenda or names. We had somebody that was drinking at one of our events, and then we caught her at another event drinking. So we asked her to resign, and there's only 3 people in the club that know the real reason. But that was a very touchy situation, and because in both occasions we were around a lot of people, and she's wearing a Rotary, Rotarian at Work T-shirt, and that was very difficult. It was the first time. My wife's been in Rotary since 1989. She was one of the first women in Rotary, and she said that she's never seen that ever happen before in any one of the 3 clubs she's been in. So, and because of it, because she left, one other person left, but that's okay. But our club's going strong. We've got an inductee this Thursday, and then we have 2 next month as well. So. You're muted, Christine.
There, Steve said he didn't get the link, so I just sent it to him again. 3rd time's a charm, hopefully. Yeah, I didn't hear all that, Marv, but I hold you and your club up, Redmond Club up, as an example of a club that does membership right. And one of these months, maybe even next month, I'd like you to open the presentation, start us off with the presentation about some of your secrets. What do you guys do? What, that we can learn from. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, I can tell you where it all started from, but I can say that there's a
Yeah,
little.
save the surprise, but I just want like 15 minutes and then Q&A, you know how we do.
Yeah, and what I'll do is also grab some pictures and maybe
Put a little slideshow together.
or do a little video. So if you just give me some notice, I'd appreciate that.
Third Tuesday of next month. How's that for notice?
What club you from?
Redmond.
Redmond.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a date here in a second as soon as I look it up.
October 18th.
Yep.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. I was wondering what I was going to do. And I just get in this group and somebody answers. And it's like the universe answers. You just put the question out there. Good morning, everyone. I haven't greeted you all individually because I got sidetracked. There's
We won't
Steve.
be too offensive about it.
Huh?
We won't be too offensive about it.
Oh, good. Okay. Let's see. It's 10:04. I usually like to start the meeting at 10:03, so I'm a minute behind schedule, which is not bad. Steve, are you audio? Can you say something so I know you're working?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to make you a co-host.
All right. You ready for me to share a screen?
Not quite. But where? Let's see. I guess I have to. There you are. Oh, guess what, Jim? I need you to make him co-host. I can't do that. Did you hear that? Okay. You're muted, but I heard you say, or I saw your lips move. Yes, now Steve, you should be able to share your screen. Okay, I'm going to introduce Steve Mathis. Steve, what is your real title? I self-titled you the DACdb guru of District 5110 because I didn't know, but I thought that was pretty honorable sounding.
That's close enough. I'm the DACdb coordinator for District 5110.
And you've done it for like 2 years now?
3 years now. Yeah.
Okay.
But I promised Jim I'd extend it to his year too.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's liking that. Yeah, it takes a while to learn everything about DACdb. I'm still learning things, and I know they have some videos online and everything. I'm sure you'll talk about it, but just how do we use DACdb in our efforts to communicate with our members and things like that? So that's with that, I'll give you Steve Mathis and let him take it for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll chat among ourselves for the rest of the time and share ideas, ask questions, whatever you want to do.
Sure. I have a PowerPoint. It's fairly short. I'd like to spend most of the time with questions because that's probably where the most value can come from.
That's what everybody else likes to.
Yeah, but DACdb is a very powerful system, and with power comes complexity. And so for those of you who don't use it regularly, I can really sympathize with how hard it is to get around and do everything. But if you're patient and you spend some time going through it, you can do a heck of a lot with DACdb that will help your club, help your membership committee, help everything that you do. So I'm going to start, I'm going to share my screen here. Can everybody see that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh,
Not yet.
yeah.
There's the green button that says share screen.
Yeah, I did that, and I'm seeing mine, but I'm not seeing you guys. So let me try this again.
We have to have another meeting on how to work a Zoom meeting.
Can you see that?
No. Oh, here
Now
it
I
comes.
can.
Okay, very
Yes.
good. All right, so DACdb and membership is what we're doing today. And let me see here. I think I'm just gonna, can you see that slide okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just not gonna use PowerPoint. I'm just gonna zip through the slides, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right, so DACdb, of course, is district and club database. You can manage your club data. You can add and remove members. You can integrate with Rotary International. You can add club officers. You can do engagement. Remember that DACdb got rid of attendance. It's now all through engagement. You can manage committees and you can communicate. So a lot of powerful things you can do. Some clubs I know have had the membership chair do the adding and removing members. So they give them power to do that instead of the secretary. And I don't know if some of you do that, but it's actually a pretty good practice to have the membership chair do the adding and removing or transferring of members. So that's something that you might consider. All right, so when you log into DACdb, you get a screen that looks like this. And on the front, you've got this little code that you can use to get the DACdb mobile that you can put on your cell phone. I don't know how many of you have that. I highly recommend it. I use it all the time. So you've got DACdb on your phone. It's not the full-blown version, and but you can do an awful lot with it. And it's got all the contacts for the members of your club. It's got a lot of good information. So I'm going to show you what it looks like if you don't have it. So up at the top, that's the new DACdb icon that you can get from the Play Store, the Galaxy Store, the Apple Store, and it's free. And you can put it on your phone, and the login is exactly the same as it is for the full-blown DACdb. And remember to click the REM.me button down there, and then you never have to log in again. It'll automatically put you in. When you log in, this is what the screen looks like. So you can look at your My Club, which is similar to the My Club in DACdb. You can look at your AG area. You can look at your district data. You can look at your own data. You can locate clubs. And so a lot of useful stuff there. So if you click on My Club, you can see all the tabs that you can do, all the information. You can't do the adding and subtracting members like you can in regular DACdb, but there's a lot of useful information there, including being able to email all the members in your club. So if you click on members, you get a list of the members, and this is for My Club, and you can zip on down to your tab and then click on your tab, and there's your profile, which has all your contact information. So you can, and those are active links. So if you want to phone somebody in your club, you open up their profile and you click on their phone number, it automatically calls them. How convenient is that? Or you can email them. That's an active email link. And if they have websites, like I have a website up there for the community band, you can click on that and go directly to that. Those are all active links. So I highly recommend you get that DACdb mobile. All right, so when you log in to your club, My Club, in the regular DACdb, I just want to point out that you see these icons, and if you don't see all those icons, you click the little wheel up in the top right, and when you click on that wheel, you get this, and this little area here shows you the icons that are displayed. And if you don't see an icon you want, you drag it up down here from the available icons, and then once you do that and click Set My Configuration, it will now be displayed on your desktop. So it's possible you don't have all those icons displayed. Make sure you do that. Okay, so you can make a membership directory. If you look over on the left, you'll see a little tab that says membership directory, and there are a whole bunch of membership directories. And so if you have folks in your club that don't like to use computers, you can print out a membership directory for them, or send it to them as an email attachment if they can at least do that. But there's a whole bunch of them that you can find in there, and you can make them in either PDF or Word files. And so that may be convenient for some folks. And then also on the left-hand side is a new member form, which I encourage all clubs to use for adding new members. It's, in my opinion, the best way to do it. So if you click on that, you're going to get this new proposed member application form, and then you can email it to the proposed member, to the new member that you want to do. You just click right there and you can email it right to the proposed member. I highly recommend this. You can fill it out yourself and save it, but I recommend having it go right to the new or proposed member and have them fill it out. And here's sending an email to a new or proposed member. It opens this up with a welcome letter and that form, and then you just click over here, send, and it goes to them. How easy is that? So this is the email that's sent to a proposed member, and so you can do this yourself so you can see what it is. You've been proposed as a new member to the Rotary Club of club name, and we're looking forward to having you as a member, et cetera, et cetera. Now, once this is sent, you now have a new tab for your club members. So we're going to take a look at that. Now, this is fake because I didn't want to actually put in a new member. But if you go to club members now, you click on that, you'll now see a new tab. Besides active honorary members and terminated members, you'll now have a proposed tab. And on the proposed tab will be that new member. Now you actually have to do it to see the actual tab. Okay, after a proposed member has been added to the club, the proposed member tab will appear, and you can then make the member active after they get a Rotary member number by editing their profile. So this is an important step. So once the proposed member that appears on the proposed member tab has actually been inducted to the club, you go into their profile and you change it to active or active red badge or whatever your club does for new members. If they're a transferred member, you probably would just do active. If they're a brand new member, you'd probably have a red badge status. So you need to do that once you've inducted them into the club. But once you've done that, it's already there. Let's say you're transferring a member from another club. You click on administrative functions. This is over on the left-hand side of the DACdb page, and you go down to member transfer. And you click that. And this is very important. You don't add a new member if you're transferring a member. So many clubs make this mistake. You do not, you member transfer. So you go down there and you click member transfer, and this will pop up. So you just enter the person's name in here and do a search, follow the directions, and it's really easy. So they're going to put some names up, and just make sure you click the right person to member transfer them. That information will be sent to RI, and then RI will do the transfer. So if you're adding a new member, this is a brand new member, you want to do that addition to RI as well as into DACdb. So you click the RI Compare tab down here. Now, regular members will not have this. Club officers will have this tab, the RI Compare. So once you hit RI compare, this screen will pop up and the person to be added will pop up at the top here. And make sure you click add to RI. And you need to do this as soon as the member is added to your club. Because of the pandemic, a lot of people got lax on this and they didn't do this step. And after 30 days, you cannot add them to RI. You have to change their admission date to add them to RI. So just make sure you do this step. So if you forget to do it and it's after 30 days, you actually have to change their admission date to within 30 days to be able to add them. You can contact Rotary International at data at ri.org and ask them to add them, but I have not had success with this. They're not very good about doing it. If you want to terminate a member, you go to the person's profile and hit edit member, and then you go up here and click the terminate button. Once you do that, a screen will pop up that you need to fill out. Reason for termination. Termination could be a transfer. If it's a transfer, make sure you click that, fill out the form and click terminate. Lately, I've had problems with clubs not terminating a member with the member transfer and they couldn't transfer to their new club. So it's important that you do this. All right, talk about club committees. And if you don't have one, you should have a club membership committee. It makes doing things pretty easy. So you go up to add committee after you click the club committees tab, add a committee, and besides board of directors, you want a committee for membership, TRF, service projects, fundraisers, and others. You click that and you make the committee. Once you have a committee, it's easy to P-mail all the members. So this is our board of directors. If you click P-mail up here on the right, it'll just P-mail to the committee members. Notice there's a files tab here. You can store your committee files here. If you have meeting minutes or you have important information that just the committee needs to know and not the club, good place to store it is right there. It's real easy to do. I really recommend you do it. You do have to clone the committee to a new year. So at the end of the year, make sure the committee extends beyond the current year. You can make a perpetual committee, but that's really not best practice. It's best to make a new committee for each year. Just clone the committee you had last year if it's the same people. Now, if you have files that shouldn't be just visible to the committee, then you can store it in the Club Files tab, which is on your main screen again. And if you click on the Club Files, you have public and secure. Make sure that files that should not be visible to people outside of your club are in the secure file. You can put things that can be available to anybody on DACdb in the public files, but store them there. So you can make file folders here, you can create new folders, and you can upload whatever you want into it. And this is a really nice feature DACdb gives you. They give you essentially unlimited storage capacity for files. So this is really where you should store all your club files. You shouldn't, your official files should be here and should not be paper copy. And they're safe. It's really nice that for a very small fee, you get all this storage space for all your stuff. The event calendar, I recommend you use it. Not, it's up to you, but not many clubs are using this to full advantage. So if you have a membership meeting for your club, just click on that calendar and you can add up here on the right, you can add an event. You can put your club meetings on there. The district membership forum is on there. And So district events are generally always added here. And you can go there to find district events, but you can do your club meeting events or club fundraiser here. And so if you have some membership event, like a new member orientation or something, you can put it here too. You can make it so that it's just visible to your club. It's a useful thing to use. So this is what it looks like. If you're new to the calendar, you can have a year view, like every date through the year. You can view it by the week. You can view it by the month. And all these are active links. All right, DACdb help. DACdb, like I say, is powerful and complex. So if you need to learn about how to do something in DACdb, come to the support. Now this, I did this before they changed it. DACdb has now changed this tab that says support to support and training. So it looks a little different, but it's the same tab. So if you have, you can make a support ticket if you have a DACdb issue that I can't answer right away. So you can click there to view and submit a support ticket. They're usually pretty good at responding to this. Over on the left, you can see all the support navigation. And if you click on the DACdb training, which I recommend, I really like the Tuesday training. So here they have DACdb University Tuesday training. The reason I like these, they're very short. They're very short videos on a very specific topic, usually no more than 20 minutes in length, sometimes quite a bit shorter than that. So if you click on that, you can see the Tuesday trainings. And over on the right here, you can see some of the Tuesday trainings. And with some exceptions, they've been having it every week. This week at 1:30, you can click into the DACdb University training on the finance module, if you're interested in that. But over here, here's some that have to do with membership, keeping in touch with your members, care and concern. Some clubs have a care and concern subcommittee of the membership committee. New member form, how to do that. So, and on and on and on. If you go down this list, you'll see lots of topics that deal with club membership. So I really recommend that you take a look at those. Like I say, you just click on it and it'll play for you. There are a lot of them have to do with membership. So that's the end of what I have to talk about today. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to stop share and did I put everybody to sleep?
No, no. Steve, that was really good. And I wrote down, well, you can't see, but I have a whole little page of notes of things to follow up with. And I know from my own experience that I can go into DACdb and find those little videos for things like that new club member proposed thing. That sounds really cool. And club officers, a lot of people, in fact, 2 on this call have emailed me and said, I didn't get the P-mail with the link to get into this meeting. Bev, I think you were one, and Eddie, where'd you go? You were one. And those emails go out to club presidents, president-elects, and membership chairs. And if you're not in DACdb under one of those titles, you don't get the link with the email, although it can be shared, that you can get it from the president, president-elect, or membership chair. And then what I usually do if somebody emails me is I just send you the link, and then you can put it on your calendar for the 3rd Tuesday of every month, and you'll always have it. So that's that's the backup plan for somebody that's not specifically getting those links. But there are so many little tips and tricks, Steve. You did an excellent job, and oh my gosh, is anybody else's head ready to explode?
It's great. Hey, Christine, is the Zoom link the same every month?
Yep.
Perfect. Great.
Just put it on your calendar, third Tuesday, 10 a.m. Throw that
Great.
link on there, and you're always invited. If you can't make it, you don't need to let me know. If you can, or you need to leave early or stay late or whatever.
Great.
You know, there's no registration requirements. I'm thinking about charging a fee. No, I'm kidding. But
could I also,
this
I
was-
have to jump off for another meeting and I apologize.
Okay.
I see other hands raised. Steve, is there such a thing as a punch list or a to-do list? It's less about DACdb, but the member's journey from proposed to done and entered. I'm the secretary, but I'm entering members and stuff like that. And I always worry, I'm getting good at DACdb, I think, but just I'm worried about missing a step. Does such a document exist?
Probably. Every club does it slightly different.
That's
Okay, got it.
But your member bylaws should have a very specific route for proposing members, how the club approves those members, and a timeline for that. It should be in your club bylaws. If it is,
Perfect.
put it in there. That's
Yeah,
where,
totally. Great, thank you.
Thank you. And there are some questions in the chat. Let's go back here and look at them. Can we get a copy of the PowerPoint that Steve did? Of course, you guys, I am here to serve above self. I send out a link to our YouTube channel. This forum has its own YouTube channel. And every month, the day after our forum, I send you the link for that, and it's always the same link. So if you want to bookmark that link, you'll have all our videos. Like, what were they talking? Next month, Marv will be talking about the success of the Redmond Club. So each video that we've had over the last almost 2 years now are all on that. So you can go back and look at the part you want. You can fast forward to wherever you want to see them. So yes, Marvin wanted to know if we had a copy of it, and yes, it will. Steve, do you want to send me the PowerPoint itself, and I will link, I'll send that as well.
I'll tell you what I'll do. What I will do is I will save it in the training folder under district files in the public files under the district training folder. So it'll be there and you can do whatever you want with it. So I will put it in there and it will be available to everybody in the district training folder. That's under public files, district files in DACdb. So I'll post it there today.
Everybody got that? Everybody feel comfortable finding it?
If you have difficulties, send me an email and I'll just send it to you directly. But if I put it in the training folder, everybody can just get it.
Yeah. Steve, when you say that, it sounds real easy because it probably is for you. But my eyes kind of glossed over as soon as you said it. And I will figure it out. But I just want to make sure that it's easy for everybody too. So I will put that in the forum recap, that it's in the district training folder with just a little bit of a notation of how to get to it, okay?
Yeah, so if you go to the district tab in DACdb, you look over on the left, you'll see a little button for district files. You just click that and look for the training folder. Open that up and you'll see it.
Okay, I'm gonna find it myself so that I know what I'm talking about when I send you guys the forum recap. Okay, let's go around the room. I want to have self-introductions, and thanks again, Steve. And then I want to ask you, so tell us who you are, what club you're with, what your position is, and what stood out to you? What did you learn from this today that you might be able to take back to your club and utilize? Oh, sorry, I got a cat being crazy. Marv, would you mind starting that?
No, but I also have two questions before I start, if it's okay.
Sure.
One,
Okay,
all members get P-mail. We have 9 members that their P-mail will not go through because they have an email address that is part of their company. So, and we've asked some of the members to go to their company to see if they could fix that. It's really a hassle, and some people don't want to go to their companies because, again, it's a hassle. So go ahead.
So my recommendation is their preferred email needs to be their home email if that's the case with their company. Just make that a requirement. Your preferred email has to be your home email if your company is blocking it. And that's done through DACdb when you edit your profile page and there's a tab for contacts.
Okay.
You need to change, it's on the
I know where it
lower right, the
know where it
preferred email.
Okay.
Toggle that to the other one, and that's how you do that. So
All
you
right.
just make that a requirement that if your company is blocking it, it has to be your home email.
All right. Second thing, just a suggestion to the club. You mentioned the membership directory. When you go into the directory, there are a whole lot of different variations that you can use. I might suggest people go down and use Fairfax.
That's
This
a good one. Yeah.
That will put 5 members in it, and then go to the PDF, and you may have to play around with the size of it. I use 110%, and that fills up the page for 5 people per page, but that's really a good one. What did I learn today in this event? One is having some members put their preferred email, a home address, email address as far as their company is concerned. But just a general, in fact, I like the presentation. The reason I want to use it is that there are really 2 parts. The first part was a very simple 5-6 slide on DACdb mobile, and I want to bring that to the club as an announcement. Hey, do this, and then next week we're all going to play around with this and see what happens. So my position with the club is a board member and membership chair.
and past president.
Yeah.
And he helps with the membership committee when asked, like I did today. And Jim Polk, you've got your hand up. Would you unmute?
Yeah, just a real quick comment about the email address and blocks by companies and that kind of thing, where the P-mail won't go through from DACdb. If the person is, when they're built in DACdb and tied to RI, they will have to contact RI as well as change their preferred selection to their home email, because RI will not, they only take that preferred email the one time unless you contact them directly to change it. It's not quite as easy as it should be, but RI says, once we have an email, you have to contact us directly to change it.
Okay, and who are you and what club are you with?
Okay, I'm your DGE right now. I'm a past president, past membership chair, past administration, past foundation chair of the Rotary Club of Illinois Valley. And also past district treasurer, past club treasurer. Yeah.
If you need to know anything about Zoom meetings and treasurer stuff, Jim's the guy to ask too. It's very helpful and very responsive.
I was
As is
also
Steve.
trained by Steve's predecessor as a backup DACdb trainer.
See, we have a lot of resources right in this room. Okay, Harry, why don't you introduce yourself and talk about what you got out of this? Oh, I said Harry, I'm sorry. Are you there, Harry?
I'm here.
Okay, tell us who you are and what club you're with and what you got out of this that you might want to do with.
Okay, Harry Hamilton, I'm the membership chair, past president of the Rotary Club of Sun River, Lapine. And we have about just under 40 members. And what I got is that I should be using DACdb. I'm not, I'm very delinquent with that. But this convinced me that I need to get involved and then spread the word and get others involved. So I'm such a novice since I'm not using it now that I don't know how I will use it. It was an excellent presentation, very easy to follow. And so I will jump in and try to totally exploit the capabilities of DACdb.
That's music to Steve's ears, I bet. Thank you, Harry. And Jerry, since when I asked for Harry, it sounded like Jerry, I'll let you go next, okay, from Gold Beach?
Yeah, thank you. Jerry Herbage, I'm the president for the Gold Beach Club. And for whatever it's worth, I just retired about 10 days ago. And so hopefully I'll have more time to work on some of these things. I'm a little bit like the previous speaker on this. I let our secretary generally handle the DACdb. I know very little, so there's a large learning curve here. I think main thing I got out of this is be patient and understand it complex. And I guess that's where I'm at with it.
Oh, thank you. I think we're all sort of in the same boat, and sticking our toe in the proverbial puddle is a good way to get involved with it. Start with one thing and exploit it, like Harry said. Patty Scott.
I'm at Coos Bay North Bend Rotary Club membership, co-chair or chair, I'm not sure this year because nobody would pick it up. I have been using DACdb, and I just went in to look up the presidents and treasurers of some of the clubs in our area, because we do Gift of Literacy together as a county. And I was happy to discover the app, which I've downloaded. And what I'm planning to do with this is I'm going to send it strategically to some of the people who are on the board, who are more technology savvy, and see if we can figure out how to get our club, it's starting with the board, to use it better. And then I think this would be a great part of club assembly at some point, like somebody else mentioned. But my question that I had before we started this is, how do you get people to embrace the technology and use it? A few years ago, I took our membership application and made it fillable, and we still are doing the paper thing. So this is great that it's in there and it can be emailed, and I'm assuming that it comes back, it's in there, and it just would make things a lot easier. Is that correct, Steve?
Yeah, it once you learn how to use it, it's the best way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got to try that too.
I would recommend for your club that you start them out on DACdb mobile and show them the utility of that, and then you can expand to the regular DACdb. Actually, most members will never need to use that.
Right.
They have a profile in there, but your board members, your membership chair, your secretary, of course, your treasurer, all have reason to use the full-blown DACdb.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people, the way I sell the mobile version to members in our club, I'm Christine Waugh, district membership chair, and from Southtown Club, past president, always on the membership committee because I care so passionately about it. But for the mobile version, when I'm going to go to a club event and spouses are coming, I'll look up Steve Mathis or I'll look up Joe Vincent because I don't remember the spouse's name. And it's in the mobile version. So I can go, oh, it's so nice to see you and Tony to Ray. And so, you know, it tells me who the spouses are. There's just so many little things that just make things go really smooth besides the phone number, besides the email, and that you can just directly access. Very, very cool stuff. Mitch,
And one other question, we
oh,
have,
sorry.
when we do the P mail, we have people who blocked, we have 90 members, and we have people who block the communications. Anyone else having problems there?
There's some that do.
Yeah, unfortunately, they have the ability in DACdb to block P-mails. And you might tell them, you're missing important stuff, please unblock P-mail. You know, because members do have the ability to do that.
They can block your emails too. I mean, it's just, you know, that's one thing about technology is that it's not forced communication. That's true though. Mitch, from the state of the virtual guy.
Yes, Virtual Guy, members from all around the world. Jerry, you said you retired. I just retired this year too, but being married for 50 years, I have 50 years of honeydew projects. I just learned recently though, as you get older, you start to lose memory. So my list has gotten shorter.
Oh, that's a good thing.
You might pass. I am the membership chair. I've also in the past, probably in 2009 or 10, and that was the district secretary and the district membership chair. And during that time, let's see if I can show it. This was the directory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember the old directories.
Oh, there. Well, anyway, that was the directory. That was a lengthy project, and this DACdb is a great tool. And in the days after today's presentation, Steve, I'm going to spend a little more time in training with all the different sources on this DACdb. I'm just going to have myself a weekly training session. And then also at the club meeting, I'm going to pass on, as I go through this training, what things DACdb can do for you personally or as a club position, you know, a chair or something. So thank you.
Good point. I know our directory, we used to have a directory when I was in the Newport Club, and it was out of date as soon as it was printed. You get one new member or somebody leaves, it's out of date already. Looks like time's flying. It's 10:46. Jill, let's move to you.
Good morning, everyone. Jill Tompkins from Jacksonville, Applegate. Steve, that was a great presentation. Thank you so much for taking time to do that. I learned a valuable lesson. I jumped on board with DACdb when it first came out. Guess what? I had not updated any information in there. I mean, I looked pretty good 20 years ago. So I encourage you all, if you're going to use DACdb as a tool of communication, you've got to remind your members to update all their information and their profiles. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Like I said, I haven't really looked at it in quite a while, so I promise I will be a better student and likewise get in there and see what all I can do.
Yeah, I know. You can put your business bio in the DACdb profile. And I know I was looking for an electrician when I moved to the Valley, and I typed in electrician on the find a member thing on the advanced search, and then screened them by who's in my area. And I found a Rotarian that came out and solved the problem for me very quickly. You know, it was very helpful, but if he didn't have his bio in there, I wouldn't have known that. Bev, how about you? I'm glad you could join us.
Hi. I have lots of questions, but I'll just introduce myself, and if we have time for them, I'll ask them. Beverly Walker, and go by Bev, and I'm the membership chair or co-chair possibly. And I am on the board this year. And the thing that I think I will like setting up is the club committee. I've been emailing my committee members for every transaction, and separately putting in their, not transaction, but email, and separately putting in their email addresses. And this will make that easier. And I have a couple other questions, but I'll wait until if there's time.
Oh, ask them real quick.
Okay. I've talked to Steve about the club files. Like if you're in the club, if you're wanting to email a proposed member and not using this Rotary membership application, but just giving them other information, like all about Rotary and other information, I can't find a way to directly go to the DACdb files and linking it. Like I'd have to take a link, and then you have that link, they have to have permission or of some sort. So just a non-Rotarian, I would like to be able to link one of the DACdb files to your email, just a external email.
Yeah, unfortunately, until they're in DACdb, it's hard to do that. It's complicated.
Okay.
Steve, may I interject? This is Ray Lamarche from Springfield. And when I was the group study exchange chair and we wanted to send out information, I would click on the link and then I would just copy it to my clipboard and then paste it into my personal email.
Right. That's how you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would put it in your, you said desktop?
I would paste it into the email that I was sending to whomever. So I would just paste the link.
And they don't have to be a Rotarian to
No.
be able to
No.
open that link up. Okay, I'll
No.
give it a try. And the Rotary membership application, I think Marv asked this question, can we change anything on the membership application that we find on DACdb, additional comments, etc.?
There's a place where you can change the wording on it.
So if I didn't want to say sponsor, I can change that and put proposer.
I'd have to get in and see. There's some words you can't change, but you can add words. So if you email me separately and ask what you want to do, I can probably answer that more specifically.
Can you add paragraphs?
There's a letter that goes along with the form and you can add as much as you want to that. And that's what I recommend. You put it in that letter that goes along with the form and you can put whatever you want in that letter.
Oh, that's nice.
Good to know, and good to know Steve. And if you can't find how to get a hold of him, let me know, but I'm expecting you can look him up on DACdb.
That's right. Find a member. You can find any member in the district.
Yeah, and you'll find out what he does in the concert band, the community concert band. I found a great picture of him online directing. Joe.
Good morning, everybody. Joe Vincent, Assistant Governor for Lynn County and member of the Greater Albany Rotary Club. I've had some involvement with the club there for a few years doing various things. I have a quick question for Steve. I monitor my clubs in DACdb fairly closely and fairly often, particularly with people in leadership positions. So as I understand it, if I'm not correct, please let me know. But it seems like when you change an aspect of the member's profile, for instance, to add them as a club treasurer, for instance, or president-elect, it's critical that you don't stop there and hit save, but that you go to another step with RI compare. Otherwise, Rotary International has no idea that that person has any relevance to their communication system when they're trying to reach people who are TRF chairs, for instance, at all. So RI compare isn't there another step that you have to go through?
Yeah, what you're talking about is, it's not a membership function, it's a club secretary function, but there is a task that's done through DACdb. It's over on the left-hand side of the screen. It's called Club Officer Compare. Club Officer Compare. It's different than Member Compare. You have to do that for your club officers, and you can do it ahead of time. If you know your treasurer, who the treasurer is going to be for next year, you put that in DACdb, and then you go to Club Officer Compare, and you send that information up to RI, and then it will automatically be there.
Okay. I'd like to suggest at some point, Christine or Steve, that club treasurers, or pardon me, club secretaries be reminded of this, because I frequently find breakdowns in the RI communication system. Often it seems to turn on not having done RI compare or not having done the leadership transfer.
Yeah, I had to go through, at the beginning of this Rotary year, I went through every single club to make sure that everybody had done the club compare. And if they didn't, I did it. It took me hours and hours and hours. So, and I would ask the secretaries to do it, and many of them just don't check, DACdb. So,
Or they're blocking your email.
well, that could be too.
Yeah. I know. I have two club presidents who had never gotten a word of information during their terms from either RI or the district, because the extensions and their email address were incorrect. I want to say to the group that three of the things that I always recommend to folks, good advice for people who are interested in all things Rotary, is use the Rotary Service Center 1-800 number. Boy, those people are magnificent.
Yeah.
The other is, don't try to find anything in My Rotary, use Google. And lastly, if you have any questions about anything to do with DACdb, call Steve Mathis.
Yeah.
He is just Johnny on the spot, and just so graciously and timely responds to all requests for info. Thanks, Steve.
Good job, everyone. Lots of good information here. One thing we didn't talk about, it just occurred to me that I use a lot on DACdb. When I P-mail you each month the link for this meeting, say, I don't have to type in "Dear so-and-so" or the signature line of my P-mail, because I set up a template, and you can go in there and set up templates, personal templates, that every time I'm going to send out a P-mail to anybody, I use my personal template, and then I don't have to say Chris Mott, district membership chair, blah, 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 and here's my phone number and stuff. It's all right there. And then there's some stuff that's just boilerplate that I always say anyway, that goes on there too. So that template can save you a lot of typing and typos. So that's something to check out if you're looking around and finding one more place that you might be able to exploit those DACdb things. Well, I want to thank Steve. I want to ask all of you, is there anything else that you'd like to add in here? We've got 3 minutes. Next month, we will be talking, hearing from Marv Kaplan from the Redmond Club, who has a reputation for being really good with membership, not Marv, but the club. And I'm sure he would say it that way, but Marv is really good with memberships issues. And he's going to tell us the tips and secrets that they use, because, I visit clubs frequently, and I've visited 3 unnamed clubs recently, and their attendance is down to about 20% of their membership in their meetings. Lots of different reasons potentially, and lots of different excuses I hear, but wow. So let's hear from a club that's doing it right. Anybody want to throw any last minute words of wisdom in? Joe, unmute.
Yeah, boy, I would do a broadcast email to all the AGs and tell them about the next membership committee meeting, because Marv knows the answers, and this is something every AG needs to jump on with their clubs.
You know what? When I send these emails out to the presidents, president-elects, I also send them to the district leadership team and the AGs. So they automatically get them now. If they're blocking them, I can't help that, but they are I do send them out. So that's the best I can do. Besides call everybody individually, and there's about 300 people that get these emails. So I don't think that's going to happen in this lifetime. Ray, how about you? You didn't get very much time to chat, and I'm just know that you have something poignant to throw in here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. First of all, thank you. It was an excellent presentation. Secondly, what I took away from it is that members can now transfer clubs. They don't have to resign and reapply. And I think our club is still under the impression they have to do that. And we currently have 2 members who are coming from a different club. So that was good for me to hear. I think I'd like to know if there's, when you send out a P-mail to a large group, of course, it all goes as a BCC. And so people cannot respond to each other. Is there any way at all of altering that or doing something? I know that we don't want it as a CC maybe to everybody, but I'll get the people who write back to me, because I do have it come back to my own. And that's the other part of this, is that, when you send it out,
it has a from address.
Responses, you want to have your own address in there rather than mail serve at DACdb, because it'll go from the person who's responding, but the sender will not receive it. It goes into nanu land.
No, but I don't think you can, Steve. You can't reply to everybody. I mean, like in my case, this email goes out to 300 people.
Yeah,
right.
I have the power to do that. People at the club level, I don't think have the ability to do that.
Okay.
Ooh, Jim has the power.
Jim has the power.
Right.
I mean, Steve has the power. I'm sorry.
The other thing would be then to remind people how to change the return address so it says your own personal address rather than mail serve. I know I've sent an application, and this was a number of years ago, thinking it got to the source, and it did not. And so making sure of that might be something to cover next time or something, whatever.
Well, thank everybody. It's 11:01. I've kept you a minute late. I apologize for that, but thanks for your involvement, your interest, and I look forward to seeing you next month. I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Bye.
Thank you, Christine.
You bet.